In this tutorial, I will show you how to build a TILEABLE autocrafter that can filter items, craft them in a condensive way. So we have, for example, iron ingots and want to craft them in an iron block, and then loads these items into a Shulkerbox and sends them away. So what we have here is the example with iron ingots. So let's put in some items in here. And as you can see, the Autocrafter crafts them, and they end up getting loaded into this Shulkerbox. The items that are required for one of these tiles are shown in here. And as I mentioned, it's completely tileable, so you can stack this thing behind each other as long as you want to go, and can have all these filters set up with different items. So this thing is essentially made out of 3 different components. We have the item filter system, the Autocrafter, and then the Shulkerbox Loader. So here I've set up the 3 components, each on their own. And we're going to start with the uppermost part. So this is the item filter. I think everyone has seen this by now. You put in your items that you want up in here, or that get filled up in here. The comparator reads the signal and sends it through the system here, which will, if there are sufficient items in here, it will deactivate the redstone torch, allow the items to fly through into here. So if I put them here, it gets deactivated and the items can get pulled out and end up in here. Then in the next step, we're gonna pick up items from here essentially, and they're gonna come into this system of the Autocrafter. What we have here is that the Autocrafter gets loaded with our items. So as soon as the Autocrafter is full with 9 items, this comparator can read the signal through this block, send it through this other block, and increases the signal strength of this redstone. Because of this composter and the comparator here, this redstone signal has always a strength of 8, but when this Autocrafter is filled with all 9 blocks, then the signal strength is increased by 1, so it becomes 9, which gets recognized by this observer, and this observer, which turns on this wax copper bulb here, gets read by this comparator, sent through this block into the Autocrafter. And then for the last system, the Shulkerbox Loader, so the items get out of the Autocrafter and they get in here. And here I've prepared a Shulkerbox, which is almost full, so let me add some more blocks on top. And as you can see, they get loaded into the Shulkerbox and a new one is dispensed, and the Shulkerbox ends up in here. So what happens is that as soon as the Shulkerbox here gets full, the signal is read out. This redstone increases from 14 to 15, which gets observed by the observer. The signal gets through this hopper here and into this observer, gets observed by that one, and this one essentially activates the piston here, which extends, removes the Shulkerbox, and as it moves backwards, a new Shulkerbox is disposed. And now for here, you need to load your Shulkerboxes into this box. They move through here, and when setting up the system, you must make sure that there's already one Shulkerbox in here, so you have to fill this in manually, because the other only stack up here, they go only until here, and this one needs to be manual filled. Then of course this composter needs to be full. Also when building, you must make sure that this bulb is deactivated in the passive state. And I mean, here you can see you have your filter items, so nothing that you expect to be in the system, or you just name something in the anvil. Then it's a bit of a struggle to build up the Shulker loader, so let me show you here. And there's a bit of a struggle with the observers, so it is best to place the piston here as last, because now nothing happens. But if you do any change to one of these 3 things here, or the redstone signal here, then I will just get rid of this redstone signal here. You will see that this observer is pushed into here, and then it's a mess up to reconstruct this again. So let me set this up real quick. Remove the piston, put this thing here, and if you put the sticky piston last, you will notice that there's nothing that happens. So that's good. Another thing is that here we have a dropper on the left side, and this one is a dispenser. But you can find all this in the schematic that I will provide in the description of the video.